The money make me do it, money make me do it.
Tell me what you're doing. Oh, blue faces, diamonds all with the gold, enough for it. Touch your soul, your soul. Let's feed families, pay for hobbies and more. I'm talking cash.
Stop playing games. You already know what it is, bro. Episode after episode, we give y'all the young, the fly, the dangerous, the rich. You heard me? Today's episode, who got that fire? We have none other than my main man, Young Riche Rich, fresh from Detroit, Michigan. You heard me? Rich, what up?
What up, though? What up, though? You know what's going on. The one and only, the GOAT. I'm in the building once again. Let's get it.
Once again, it's on. Man, look, off top, we're going to get into it for them because they don't know. Explain to them what's going on with your hair, Round. Explain to them your crown, Rich. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they like on my level.
Yeah, right.
We recorded this one time, you hear me? So we had to do it again. Rich was so cool. He wanted to come back and do it again to make sure everybody who got that fire got a whiff of who he is. So run it to him, baby. Let them know the history of what's going on with the hair.
Nah, no cap. The hair, great explanation, man. It's really because I'm really the GOAT. And I was saying that I was the GOAT before I started doing the hair. And the reason why I did the hair is because I didn't want to keep explaining why I was the GOAT. I wanted it to be self-explanatory. So it changed the narrative from me telling people that I'm the GOAT to them asking me what the hair mean or what this mean. And then them hearing that I'm the GOAT, then it made them be like, oh, okay, I get it, versus it being like I'm the GOAT and it's arrogant or cocky because they may not know who I am in that format to say what I'm the GOAT of. But I knew what I was before I ever did the hairstyle, and I just had to let them know. And over time, the hair just keep growing and the horns just keep longer, keep getting longer. So before you know it, you know the GOAT then turned into the Billy Goat. Now I'm out here.
You heard me? Alpha goat on their ass. So tell me this, yo. Even though I said it on GP, just introduce yourself to the people right quick.
For sure, for sure. It's your boy MPR Riche Rich, the one and only the GOAT. I'm from Detroit, music artist, entrepreneur, family man, businessman, God-fearing man, just all around great dude.
Yeah, there it is, man. Hey, so I said to myself, man, you know, Detroit, y'all been winning, but right now it's like, you know, that sound in that space is really piped up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know how they got a sound that might be considered like an Atlanta sound, right?
Facts.
They got a sound that might be a West Coast or East Coast sound. Like right now they got like a East Coast drill thing. I've been peeping that out. I think I can identify that sound a little bit. You hear me? And I done peeped that the 313 or just the state period got their own wave. Once again, y'all keep a wave, but this is a whole nother type of wave. You feel me? Can't knock out the Buffs too, baby. You got to give the, you know, Michigan, baby, you know, from the from the Cardi Buffs, baby, to the players, baby, when it come down to get mine. You know what I'm saying? And y'all are crushing it right now on telling one of y'all making it in America, strapping up your boot stories of BMF. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy, bro. You know, I know you got uncles, you know, people like that. Like, what is that for you right now? Being a artist that's making moves like this here, seeing stories that you've been hearing all your life as a youth. You know what I mean? Things that you put your eyes on. What is it like for you right now to be seeing this page of your state, your heritage being on TV like this?
No, man, it's a great thing, and it's really inspiring because where we come from, you know, it's a lot of different stories that get told, and it's a lot of different things that you go through, and to see it being displayed in this type of a light at this type of a time, it's almost like, what could we have asked for better, you know? And at the end of the day, Meech's story and Terry's story is one of them stories that if you don't know about it, you're going to learn about it. And if you already know about it, you know how much it meant and how impactful it was to our culture, to our generation, to everything that came from Detroit during them times. Like, for what they was doing and the narrative that they was pushing and where they were trying to take it to, I think everybody can relate to that because at the end of the day, everybody wants to get into this entertainment space and everybody want to get into a certain light. And I think they was doing it at an all-time high and they made it look easy at the end of the day. When you heard about it and you knew about it, and even when you watching it on TV, you kind of get that sense like, dang, they really doing this at a level that where you never really heard it done like this. So it's very inspirational and it's very cool and a great feeling to be able to watch something like that and then also be able to know some of the characters and actually deal with them and be at events with them and see like they really putting on a great season and a great show at the end of the day.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. How old when you first got a whiff of that type of grown man business out there? How old were you when you processed, okay, that's how they're getting it?
I would say probably about 11, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that area because the streets was going to be the streets. And I think it just took the time to really understand what was happening. And right at that age group, you kind of seeing stuff. And the people who we was looking up to, they might have been only 15, 16, you feel me? But when you 10 and you got partners that's 15, 16, who you looking at as big homies or people who already moving and shaking because they 15, 16, they get money. So for me to be 10, why not look at them? You feel me? I'm so close to them being like, yo, they may be in a couple grades higher than me, or they should have been in a couple grades higher, but they out of school. You feel me? So it's like you paying attention to them anywhere from 10 to 11 to 12. And it's like you learning what they doing, not really understanding it at the time because around that time we around dice games. Around that time we hanging out on the corners and you know what I'm saying, trying to hang out past the street lights, like just doing stuff because they doing it. We feeling like why we ain't doing it. And that's a part of what the youth do. You always want to grow up so fast. And then when you get grown, then you like, dang, take me back.
That's real, bro. That's real. Tell me this, Ron. How does seeing all these RICO cases and the police and the feds and everything that's dealing with anti-rap, how does that make you feel from what you've been seeing from the outside looking in? You know what I'm saying? Once you really got a whiff for that in the last however long it's been, you know, how did that affect you? How do you look at that?
Yeah, it kind of got me in a different space because I mean, when you really look at it from the angle where I'm coming from with music, like I didn't grow up just wanting to do music. I grew up loving music for what it was as the culture, you know? And then when I came into it to actually be a musician and an artist, that kind of put me in the space to being like, okay, this is something that's possible. This is something I could do. And now when you're seeing all of that, you're looking at it and being like, well, they want you to promote a certain thing. They want you to push a certain narrative. They want you to act a certain way. And all those ways tie into the same reasons of why they're using these guys' music in the courtroom and why they're using these guys' music against them and why they making you go so hard. Because at the end of the day, as an artist, most of these artists is backed by people who A, are investors, B, who get money, C, who doing certain things. And it's like, you already got a direct tie to this, and it's been like this from the beginning. But now y'all making it and trying to make examples out of the same people that y'all are wanting to aspire to be who they grew up watching and what they grew up seeing. And now it's almost an attack on the music based off of the situation that y'all already knew how it was being done, how it was back, how everything happened. That's just like them trying to go and get everybody for building out Las Vegas. They knew how Las Vegas was built. They knew what it was built off of. They knew how it was ran. Now that it's corporate, that's like trying to go and attack all of them and trying to keep them under a thumbnail. It's not right.
It's real shit. It's real shit. It's a real touchy situation. You know what I'm saying? You know, things do change, you know what I mean? And there's some things just totally just evolves to be the same. You know what I mean?
Facts.
What's up with the I'm quite sure that you've been seeing what's going on with the Tyree young man that was assaulted by the police out there in Memphis, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That was a twist.
No, and that's another subject that is like, it's just what they doing is so deep, you know, and even to hear like some of the story and what's going on with it or whatnot, like by all means, it was wrong in all aspects. But my thing is, every last one of them type of cases been wrong in all aspects. But they got it to where it's been built up so much for the other narrative to where they trying to make this narrative about it's black on black and they did this and that and what have you not. But y'all trying to dismiss all of the other situations that we've been arguing and fighting and trying to get justice for. But now y'all trying to say it as if everybody just all of a sudden wants justice for sure for this situation when it's us against us. But it's like, it's so confusing how they keep portraying the narrative for what's really going on. They try to exploit something, and it's going back to our culture. They try to make it us against us when it's not really us against us. And they pushing these narratives so heavy that it's like, it's disgusting for real. It's like, it's crazy. Why y'all trying to blow this out of proportion and talk about this as if this wasn't going on and we've been fighting for the same thing? None of the situations was right. So all of them should get punished and should suffer consequences for their actions. But that don't take away from nothing that we done seen in the last 5 years from all of the other stuff as well. And if they not pushing the narrative for them other things to happen the same way that they pushing the narrative for this, then they need to go back to those cases and reiterate what needs to happen if they feel that these men are just as wrong as these other men were.
I think this was, you know, it's always trippy. You know, think about it, man. We see, you know, all kind of people do the same things, all kind of people all day, but to think that they wearing a badge is something where you think, shit, you know, I think just the same, this is just me, right? I think the same thing is like Obama was in office, you know, you think that you see somebody like you, so maybe they might look out for you. You know what I'm saying? Is that a crazy type of wrong thinking to think because you look like me that I should have hopes of you looking out for me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is there something wrong with that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I would think it's less worrisome getting pulled over by somebody that looked like me, right? You know,
right.
But in this case, it was totally something else. You know what I'm saying? The same as with Barack. A lot of people thought about that. But I mean, I know that's gonna be like neither here or there, you know what I'm saying? But music-wise, man, like, I know it's not just music and I know it's more lifestyle. But last time we were talking, you were telling me you kind of found your pocket, you found your niche on some vibes. You know what I'm saying? You had some singers get some great responses out there, catching some real traction out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, how long you been messing with the music, and what happened to put that fire underneath your ass to get to it, focus and get at it? You know?
No, definitely. I've been messing with the music for about 10 years almost, coming up in 2024. And what really made me get hip to it and be like, okay, this is what I really want to do is when I came home, I really realized that it was something that I wanted to do that was more positive, and I wanted to leave a certain legacy and change the narrative for what I was going through and all the things that I've been through. And I always felt like I had a story to tell. And I've even wrote books, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't yet published them because I came into actually doing music. So it's like when I look at the whole narrative of what I'm doing and where I'm going with it, I realize that I want the people to know something from a certain aspect. And I took it serious from that day, because when I came into it, I was already almost 20, 25. That was a different narrative than me coming in at 13, 14, 15, 16, just being an artist and doing all those things, getting in the studio. I didn't get into the studio till I was almost 25. So I kind of looked at it differently than somebody who would have jumped into music at 17, 18. So it was always a business for me. And I just knew if I stuck to my grounds and I put my time and energy into it, the same as when I went to the military, the same as when I ran the street, the same as when I went to school or played basketball or anything else, it was about actually going into it.
Hold on, Rich. First of all, you said books, plural form. You wrote books.
Yeah, I got 3 books that I wrote.
Damn. Okay, 3 books. This man got 3 books he have written. This man has been in the military. Am I right? You're in the military.
Yeah.
Which outfit was you in?
Army. I was in the Army, 82nd Airborne. I jumped out of plane.
Wow, man. Shout out to the 82nd Airborne. You heard me? Shout out to the Army. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that boy was jumping out of planes for real, baby. Jet life, you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sir.
Oh,
No
bro.
cat.
No kizzy. You feel me? So damn, bro, what was that like for you? Of wanting to go into the military? What was that space for you?
That was different, man. I ain't gonna lie. It taught me a lot, because I was like 18, 19 going into the military. And during that time, I was coming from Detroit. So I had a certain mindset on how life should work. And going into the military, for those who don't know, it's completely different than a lot of things, whether you talk about the streets, you talk about corporate America, you talk about anything. When you're dealing with the Army or the military, in a sense itself, it's actual, like, real life, its own world. Like, when we see civilians, that's what they are. It's like they're whole totally different people. You could be the CEO of Walmart, but you're a civilian to me as a soldier. So we looked at things like it was completely 2 different worlds of people, even though we was all the same people, because of the discipline, training, and what type of mindset they put you in. Like, you're literally joining the force to fight for this country and to protect this country and to do things that the average person would never do or never go through this type of training just to live, and you're doing that just to live and survive, because you got to be ready at any given time, because when it's time to go to war, or it's time to go overseas, or whatever it is, even if it's a stateside situation, when it's time to act, you got to act in this certain manner to where anything that gets in your way or anything that goes against what you are told to believe and what you are told to go for is canceled. That's just point blank, period. There is no second guessing it or questioning it, or, oh, we're going to talk this out, or we're going to negotiate this. It's dead at the second it's set. You feel me? So it's like, that was a training that really showed me a lot of different stuff about life and just discipline in itself, because I use a lot of those tactics still to this day, just based off integrity and discipline and how to carry yourself and how to move in the streets or how to move in life at the end of the day, just based off of what they taught you. It took me from being a child to a man in less than 60 days. You feel me? Because they not there to play no games with nobody. You either gonna make it through or you not, and everybody don't make it through. It's a lot of people that sign up. It's only a quarter of them that make it through. So to even get in, but then you got levels of training. I went to airborne school. I went to RIP. Like, I took it to a whole nother level, and that mean that I surpassed so many people. You feel me? So it's like, it was definitely something to be like, okay, this is different, and this is definitely something to recognize. And that's, of course, why when we walk around and people do know that we're in the military or we're in the military, they salute and they, give us our grace, because you really went into something that's way deeper than any position in the regular world as a civilian.
Crazy, bro. Crazy.
So it taught me a lot.
Tell me this here. What can you share that the Army taught you and as far as survival? What can you share that always, I know there's a lot of things that stick with you, but what one thing can you share that the Army taught you about as far as survival that made you
I think one of the biggest things that they taught me when I was going through RIP, you gotta drown to get through this certain course. And that's like anybody that know anything, you could be a swimmer, you could love the water, and you understand what drowning is. You have to be revived within a certain amount of time so that you know what this life and death experience is like. That's something that shows you and put a certain fear into you, that takes a certain fear from you as well, that you realize life is completely what you want it to be. Because when you go through an experience like that, it always made me think, and a lot of people ask me like, well, why you walk around so like nonchalant about so many different things, or you see certain things happening and it's like it don't got nothing to do with you, you're not dealing with it or certain things. And it's because I've experienced something that whether I talk about it or not, even me explaining it, you're not gonna understand it unless you experience. And experience is something that's way deeper. That's why you can have somebody with experience get a higher position than a person with an 8-year college degree, because of the experience gonna mean way more in the battlefield than anything else. And that's what that kind of taught me. Like having that experience showed me that these people out here, they can try to put fear in you, they can try to say certain things, but when you know the difference and you know a life and death situation that they experienced and happened to you, it make you look at life differently. And I ain't never been in a situation where I literally died and came back.
Right. Wow. 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 See, this is what I'm trying to tell you. I don't think I've met an artist with this type of background. You know what I'm saying? Like I know a few artists that was in the military. You know, the thing, shout out to everybody that went through the military. You know, they had to see for themselves that whether they make careers out of it, whether it didn't work out for you, period. Shout out to everyone that signs up to protect what we have over here. You know what I'm saying? That go in with the attention to us. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you in all outfits. I appreciate each and every one of you for the sacrifices and that what you do for us, you dig? And I'm happy you in one piece, you know what I'm saying? All together, you know, home, stateside, doing your thing. Today, presently, in the music game, you know what I'm saying? Period, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are you looking in the music business? You know what I'm saying? Is it all fake and smoke to you, or have you been having a dope experience learning and meeting people and networking, or it's just been a whole bunch of finessing out here?
That's a deep one right there, because I think you kind of understand the industry pretty well. At the end of the day, to me, it's more like I enjoy the independent part of it. You know, I done been around a lot of industry people and I done heard a lot of stories, and I deal with a lot of guys that are signed and different things of that nature just based off of where I've made it to in my actual career myself. So to me, it is a lot of smoke and mirrors, of course, but there's a lot of real situations in it, because when you go through certain things, you start to realize what's real and what's not. You know what I'm saying? I don't get caught up in the hype of all of the stuff and from the numbers and the games and everything that's being played to manipulate the mind to make it look a certain way. I stick to the real relationships. Like that's where I gain my most success from, is having real relationships, because you can have all the money, you can make all the appearances, you could do all of these number games and all of these different facade things from awards and everything else materialistic. in this game and never go nowhere. But if you got the right relationships and you build with the right people and you network with the right people, you can literally be nobody on social media, nobody to all of these people, but the man to the people that matter. Right. You can actually get places and do things that not only gonna help you, may help your family, may help everybody around you. A lot of the things that I even do to this day, it helps more people than it helps me personally, because of the simple fact that I built so many relationships and I put myself in a position and sacrificed so many different things, from being the latest or having the most money to be who I am genuinely, and to be able to give back to people the way that I give back. And I think that's what's the realest part of it, is that you just gotta be you. A lot of people are inferior to being themselves. They don't know how to be themselves because they always watching everybody else. And the moment you get caught up trying to be somebody else, it may not even be happening psychologically in your mind. It may be unconsciously that you're doing this, but you're caught up in a world. And once you're caught up in a world, you're never going to be who you want to be. You're never going to be happy with yourself because you're not them. And you keep trying to compare to what they have in their success, when you don't even know the realness in their success. You don't even know what this man sacrificed to be in that position. You don't know what this man did to get to where he got to. So for you to keep every day thinking about what he's doing and how he's doing it and trying to mimic it and do it the same way or certain things, you just killing yourself softly, because you're never going to understand it. Because I've been around almost everybody, and I promise you, no one did it the same way. Now, is there certain tactics and situations that they implemented into their campaigns and marketing and promotion? Yes, but none of it was ever the same campaign. I don't care who you talk about or what it is. Every one of them had something different, because every one of them was marketed differently. Every one of them was promoted differently. Every one of them almost sounded differently. So there's no way they was ever done the same.
Tell me this. What is the single that you're pushing right now? What's the name of it? Who produced it? You know,
the name of the single that I'm pushing right now is "Live in the Moment." My boy Mercy, shout out to Mercy, man. He's one of the greatest out here. Super underrated, super humble. And I think that's why he's underrated, because he's not as cocky and arrogant as the accolades say. And he's just a great all-around producer, and they helped me put that song together. And it's just one of the greatest songs of all times. Like, it just got to get to the people, and that's why I'm pushing it. Like, I don't plan on not pushing it ever. Like, I'm gonna push this till the day I fall over at the end of the day, because what I'm knowing what this song is doing for the people and what it's talking about, it's allowing somebody to do something that they may not never know how to do genuinely on their own, and that's live in the moment. When I say live in the moment, I'm saying it's not even about the past. It's not even about the future. Both of those things exist, but at the same token, we still have the now that we got to focus on. And while you're focused on the now, you think about the past from time to time, but you focusing on the future because you want to see the next day. You want to see the next dollar. You want to see the next situation. But sometimes you get so caught up in the past, or you get so caught up in your future, you forget this rare moment right now to live in it. And I think that's what it really inspired it, because we was going through COVID and we didn't have past situations. I'd have been in the military. I'd have been to this place. I done did these things. I had to realize to myself that I really made it to a point that I'm comfortable. Not that I'm comparing myself to this person or comparing myself to that person. Just being genuinely happy with who I am today. And every day I get up, I'm genuinely happy with where I'm at. Am I where I want to be? No, but I'm happy with where I'm at. I got my family, I got God, I got me, I got motivation, I got determination, I got a voice. Everything just all around to be able to be that person and genuinely be them, and not have to worry about, oh, I'm social media famous, or oh, I'm in person famous, or oh, I'm cool because I got money, or oh, I'm cool because I got a sponsorship. All of that is just extras to what rare form I'm living in currently.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, I could tell you at a certain peace with yourself, which is awesome to have, not only in the skin that you are in, but in the occupation of what you choose to, you know what I'm saying? So I think
Definitely.
that definitely, man, live in the moment, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, don't play no games, man. Y'all get a chance, go check that out ASAP. You know what I'm saying? Young Ricky, you know what I'm saying? Live in the moment is out there. Banging. Tell me this. Tell me this. What's up with the Buffs, man? What's up with the Buffs?
What's up with who?
What's up with the Buffs, baby?
Oh, come on now, man.
Give
I
us,
gotta come back.
give us some
Like,
info.
that's a
Let's get
culture thing. You gotta know, like, everybody that don't know about Detroit, like, that's a part of the culture. That's something that, like, I'm actually talking to them right now about having a real sponsorship from them, just because if you're not from Detroit or you don't really know the culture, like, we was doing this before we could afford it. Like, we coming from just hustling up, trying to save up to get something that we put so much invested stock into that it's hard to even explain. It's almost like it's a part of you. I've been wearing busts for at least 20 years because it's a part of your DNA, a part of the culture. Like, that's how you know you from Detroit. That's how you know you are in that culture. Like, it's almost a part of your attire to wear. You know what I'm saying? And it's like what they did and impacted the culture with for Detroit alone. I mean, it's ingenious at the end of the day. And if you know about them, you know about them. If you don't, find out about them and just understand the culture. It's almost like a lingo or where you from. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know. It's like me saying what up though. That's it's signatures to certain cultures and to certain areas that is like, okay, they from there. You feel me? That's what they own. So that's kind of what it is for real.
That's crazy, man. Shout out to Cartier. Hey, man, get out Richie Rich, man. Get out a couple players.
Oh man, that sponsorship. You already know what's going on.
Y'all could, y'all could intermingle that thing right there, do the collabs, get with the youth that's out here been hitting the pavement with this flair, with this swag. There, you know what I'm saying? It popped that up. You feel me, Cartier? I know somebody's watching and listening. You know what I'm saying? Just tap in, Richie Rich, putting it out there already, 313 representing. You feel me? And anybody
I'm
out
trying to take it all the way up there. I need the seeds to have some horns on them or something. They need to make me a custom pair. Like, it's that type of time, and it's just me knowing what it do for the culture, and where it came from, and just knowing the history of it, and just knowing, like, I know people that have lost their lives and different things over these glasses, and to be able to still represent this and to change the narrative for it to be something fun to do and for it to be something that's respected to do. It's like that's what I'm here for, is to show people that it's not about the negative effect of what something could be done because of something represents something. And that's something that's so strong. It's almost like a Jordan sponsorship. Like, the same thing, in the same way y'all seen people go crazy for Jordans, that's how they went crazy for Cartier. And it's like, that's what's really impactful. And to be honest, like, another major thing that just happened is I just linked up with Our Sign. And Our Sign is something from Detroit that's been major in the market. And we just did a custom jacket and we working on more custom things. And it's like, for me, coming from Detroit, knowing Our Sign and knowing what we was doing, like, I didn't got robbed for these jackets going to school. You feel me? And to know that I'm a part of a brand now, that's like real impactful for me. And that's what I want to be able to represent on my end and show to other youth and other people, like, hey, it's a way to do things and it's a way to represent the people who represent you.
That's crazy. Well, hey, man, Do me one favor. Once you let everyone know your social handles.
Everywhere it's the same. MPR Richie RICHE_Rich. And you can catch me everywhere and anywhere. Shout out to this exclusive interview on Who Got That Fire. Y'all know Fiend, keep it going. It's up there and it's no limits to none of this that we doing.